In this video, I am going to show you a full Wondershare Filmora 15 tutorial for beginners. We'll go through the basic layout, how to create a new project, how to import your videos, how to edit your clips, add B-roll, add titles, use transitions, add music, adjust audio, color, correct your video, and then export everything when you are done. I'll also show you some of the features inside Filmora 15, including a few editing tools and AI tools, so you can understand how everything works and start editing your own videos quickly and easily. I know this might seem confusing at first, especially if this is your first time opening Filmora, but once you try it, you'll understand. The good thing about Filmora 15 is that the interface is very beginner-friendly, so even if you are new to video editing, you can follow along step by step. Filmora works on both Windows and Mac. For this tutorial, I am going to use Filmora on a Mac, but the process is mostly the same on Windows too. Some shortcuts may be different, but the editing steps and the tools are very similar. So let's not waste any time. Let's open Wondershare Filmora 15 and start from the beginning. Okay, so this is the first screen you will see when you open Filmora 15. Down here at the bottom, you will see your recent projects. So if you have already worked on other videos before, they will appear here, and you can easily open them again. This is useful because you don't need to search your computer every time you want to continue editing. On the left side, you will also see different options like Filmora Cloud, Creator Hub, and Toolbox. Filmora Cloud is where you can save or access cloud-related files and projects, depending on your account. Creator Hub is more like a place where you can find creative tools, learning content, or resources that can help you with your editing. And Toolbox is where you can find extra tools that are useful for different editing tasks. For now, we don't need to go too deep into these sections because this tutorial is mainly about creating and editing a project from start to finish. Now, before we create a new project, we need to choose the right aspect ratio. This one is pretty obvious, but it is also very important. The aspect ratio depends on the type of video you want to create. For example, if you are making a YouTube video, you will normally use 16:9 widescreen. If you are making a video for Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, you might use a vertical size instead. But for the sake of this video, we are going to choose 16:9 widescreen because this is the common format for normal YouTube videos. Once the aspect ratio is selected, we can click Create New Project. And just like this, our new Filmora project is now open. Alright, now we are inside the main Filmora editing interface. I know this might seem confusing because there are many buttons, panels, and tabs, but don't worry. We'll go through the important parts slowly so you understand what each section is for. Up here on the top left side, this is the media area. This is where you will import your video clips, images, audio files, and other assets that you want to use in your project. Think of this as the place where all your project files stay before you drag them into your timeline. Next to the Media tab, you will see Stock Media. This is where Filmora gives you access to stock videos, stock images, and other resources that you can use, depending on what is available in your version or plan. You will also see Audio, where you can find music and sound effects. After that, you have titles, transitions, effects, stickers, templates, and split-screen options. The cool thing is that Filmora already gives you a lot of built-in presets, so you don't have to create everything from scratch. For example, if you want to add text, you can use a title preset. If you want to add movement between clips, you can use a transition. If you want to add a design element, you can use stickers or effects. One thing you'll notice is that there are also categories on the left side like social media, love, game, and more. These categories help you find styles faster depending on the type of video you are making. For now, I will simply go back to the Media tab because this is where we need to start. In the middle of the screen, you will see the Preview area. This is where you can watch your video while you edit. So every time you add a clip, title, transition, or effect, you can preview it here and see how it looks. This is where the magic happens because you can watch your video come together as you build it. Under the preview window, you will see the playback controls. You can play the video, pause it, move forward frame by frame, or move backward frame by frame. This is helpful when you want to make a very precise cut. You can also maximize the preview if you want to see your video in a bigger view. There are also options to adjust volume, take a snapshot, or save a frame from your video as an image. Now, at the bottom, this is the timeline. This is where most of the editing happens. The timeline is where you place your video clips, audio, music, titles, overlays, and everything else. You can move clips around, cut them, trim them, layer them, and arrange your full video here. Above the timeline, you will see different small tools and settings. You can render a preview, which helps your video play more smoothly if it is lagging. You can add markers, which are useful if you want to remember a certain part of your video. You can record a voiceover directly inside Filmora. You can also open the audio mixer if you want to adjust your sound in more detail. There is also something called Quick Preview Mode. In short, this helps Filmora play your video more smoothly while you are editing, especially if your computer is struggling. It does not mean your final exported video will be low quality. It is just a preview setting to make editing easier. You will also see the Zoom to Fit timeline option. This is helpful because it lets you see your full video timeline in one view. If your video is long and you are zoomed in too much, you can use this to quickly fit everything on the screen. You also have zoom in and zoom out controls, which allow you to get closer to your clips or see more of your timeline. Right beside the zoom controls, there is also an audio waveform or audio indicator option. I like to turn this on because it lets me see the audio waves on the timeline. This is very useful when editing because you can easily see where someone is speaking, where there is silence, or where a beat happens in the music. It makes cutting and trimming much easier. Before we import our footage, there is one important thing we should check first. Let's go to File, then Project Settings. This is where we can double-check the settings of our project. You can see that the aspect ratio is 16:9, which we selected earlier. If you changed your mind, you can still change it here. The resolution is set to 1920 by 1080, which is full HD, and that is perfectly fine for this tutorial. You can choose a different resolution if you want, but for this demo project, full HD is enough. The frame rate is also here. I will leave mine at 25 frames per second. The color space is set to SDR, and for this tutorial, that is also fine. There is also a sample rate setting, but we are going to leave this as it is. Once everything looks good, we can click OK. By the way, I forgot to mention one more thing before we start editing. In the preview player, there is also a playback quality option. Right now, it may not be active because we have not added any video yet. But once you add footage, you can choose how the video plays back while you edit. If you have a slower computer or an older laptop, you may want to set this to half quality or quarter quality. This can make the preview smoother while you edit. Don't worry, this is only for playback inside Filmora. Your exported video can still be high quality. For now, I will keep mine at full quality, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that is a quick overview of the Filmora interface. I know this might seem boring, but it is important because once you understand where everything is, the rest of the editing process becomes much easier. Now, let's move faster and import our video files. To import media, make sure you are on the Media tab, then go to Project Media. After that, click the Import button, then choose Import Media Files. Now you can locate the video clips, images, or audio files that you want to use. You can select one clip at a time, or if you want to import multiple clips, you can select one file, hold Shift, and select the other files too. Then click Import. A few moments later, our media files are now inside Filmora. You can see them here in the Media panel. Once your files are imported, the next step is to bring your main footage into the timeline. I will click on my main video clip and drag it down into the timeline. Sometimes Filmora may show a message saying that the resolution or frame rate of the media does not match the project settings. For this tutorial, I will check Do Not Ask Again and choose Keep Project Settings. The reason I am choosing this is because I already set my project to the format I want, which is 16:9 Full HD, so I want the project to stay in that format. But you can also choose Match to Media if you want Filmora to match the settings of your video file. It depends on what you want for your project. Now, we have our main footage on the timeline. You can see the video at the bottom, and you can also see it in the preview window. You will also notice the audio waveform below the video. This is really helpful because you can see where the audio is loud, where it is quiet, and where there are gaps. If you are editing a talking video, this makes it easier to find mistakes, pauses, or sections you want to remove. Now we can start editing the video. The first thing we want to do is remove any bad takes, mistakes, long pauses, or parts that we don't want in the final video. I will zoom in on the timeline so I can see the clip more clearly. You can zoom in by using the slider here, or you can use shortcuts. On Mac, I can use Command+ to zoom in and Command- to zoom out. On Windows, you can use Control+ and Control-. This makes editing faster and easier. Let's find the part where we want the video to start. I will click and hold the playhead and move it to the beginning section that I want. Once I find the right spot, I can cut the clip. There are a few ways to do this. I can click the scissors icon, or I can use the shortcut Command-B on Mac. On Windows, you can use Control-B. This will split the clip at the playhead. After splitting the clip, I can select the part I don't need and press Delete. And just like this, the trimming step is complete. If you make a mistake, don't worry. You can press Command-Z on Mac or Control-Z on Windows to undo. Let me fix this and show you another way to trim a clip. Another way to trim is to go to the very beginning of the clip. When you hover your mouse near the edge of the clip, the icon will change into a trim tool. Then you can click and drag the edge of the clip until you reach the part where you want the video to begin. This is very easy and fast. What you want to do now is go through your video, scrub through the timeline, and find all the sections you want to remove. You can cut pauses, mistakes, repeated lines, or anything that does not help the video. This is similar to the previous step. You just find the part, split it, remove the unwanted section, and then continue. You can also use the scissors tool on the cursor to split your clips. Just make sure you are careful with what clip is selected. If no specific clip is selected, the cut may affect every clip in that area. So if you only want to cut one clip, select that clip first before cutting. Now, after cutting the main footage, you can see that the video is separated into different sections. Since they are now individual clips, you can click and move them around if you want. For example, if you want to move the middle clip to another place, you can simply drag it. But for this tutorial, I will put it back where it was because I want the video to stay in the correct order. And just like this, our basic cutting and trimming section is complete. Now that the main footage is trimmed, the next step is to bring in B-roll or overlay footage. B-roll is extra footage that you place on top of your main video to make the edit more interesting. For example, if your main video is a talking video, you can add extra clips on top to show what you are talking about. This helps the video feel more visual and less boring. I have a few other clips here in my project media. I will select one of them, like this forest and lake shot, and drag it down into the timeline above my main footage. Now, the B-roll is sitting on top of the main video. When the playhead reaches this part, the viewer will see the B-roll instead of the main footage. Let's add another B-roll clip. I will drag another shot into the timeline. Now, one thing you'll notice is that some B-roll clips may also have audio. Usually, we don't want the B-roll audio to interfere with the main talking audio, so we need to lower it or mute it. One easy way to do that is to hover over the audio line on the clip and drag it down. For this tutorial, I will bring it down so the sound is very low. You can also mute the whole track by clicking the mute button on the left side of the track. If you mute the whole track, everything placed on that track will have no sound. That can be useful if all your B-roll clips are just visuals. Now I will zoom out a little and line up the B-roll with the main footage. You can move B-roll clips around just like normal video clips. You can trim them, cut them, resize them, and place them wherever you want. The good thing about Filmora 15 is that this feels very simple and user-friendly. For now, I will repeat the same process. I will move my B-roll clips around, trim them, and make sure they fit nicely with the main video. I know this might seem confusing, but once you try it, you'll understand. A few moments later, our main footage is now cut, and our B-roll is layered on top. The edit already looks more interesting. And just like this, the B-roll section is complete. Now let's add text or titles to the video. Titles are useful if you want to add a name, label, intro text, subtitle style, or any text element on the screen. To do this, go to the Titles tab at the top. Here you will see many different title templates. Some are animated, some are simple, and some are more stylized. You can choose whatever fits your video. For this tutorial, I will choose one title preset. To add it to the timeline, I can click and drag it down, or I can click the plus button. The plus button will add it directly to the timeline. Once the title is on the timeline, I can click it to customize it. On the right side, the text settings will open. This is where we can change the text, size, position, animation, and other settings. First, I will resize the title and place it on the bottom left side of the video so it looks like a lower third. A lower third is usually used to show someone's name, role, or label. For the sake of this video, I will use a sample name. I will change the first text layer to Michael and the second text layer to Student. Now I can customize the animation. I can change the outro animation of the first layer and the second layer, so the title appears and disappears nicely. The cool thing is that Filmora makes this easy because you can click directly on the preview window and move the text around. You can also resize it by dragging the corners. If you want more control, you can also use the transform settings on the right side. You can adjust the scale, position, and other settings manually. But personally, I find it easier to just click the text in the preview window and move it around until it looks good. Whenever I make a change, I like to play it back. So, I will move the playhead to the beginning of the title and press the space bar. Now, I can see how the title looks with the video. That looks good. I am happy with this lower third title. And just like this, the title section is complete. Now that we have titles, let's add transitions. Transitions are used to move from one clip to another in a smoother or more creative way. To find transitions, go to the Transitions tab at the top, next to Titles. Here you will see many transition presets built into Filmora. You can click on them to preview how they look. Before using a transition, make sure you place it between two clips. A transition needs enough media on both sides to work properly. If your clip is too short, or if there are not enough frames, the transition may not work the way you want. For this tutorial, I will start with a common transition, like a fade. A fade transition is simple and clean, and it can help one clip move into the next without feeling too sudden. But to be honest, I don't recommend using transitions too much. Sometimes, too many transitions can make the edit look cheap or distracting. A simple jump cut is often enough, especially for talking videos. But for the sake of this tutorial, I will play around with a few transitions so you can see how they work. I will choose a linear transition and add it between two clips. I can drag it onto the timeline, or I can click the plus button to add it. Now let's play it back and see how it looks. Okay, that actually works pretty well. If I want to use a different linear style, I can choose another color or animation style and try that. Following the same steps, I can add it to another section and preview it again. One thing you'll notice is that the transition has a length. If it feels too long, you can click the transition on the timeline and drag the edge to make it shorter. If you want it slower, you can make it longer. For most videos, I usually like transitions to be short and subtle, but it depends on your style and the type of project. Now, let me show you something important. If you have a cut in the same talking clip because you removed a mistake, you usually don't want to put a transition there. This is not looking good because it is transitioning from the same shot into the same shot, and it can look awkward. Instead, one way to hide that cut is to zoom in slightly on the second clip. Let me fix this. I will select the second clip, go to the transform settings, and increase the scale a little bit. Then I will move the frame so the person's head is still in a good position. You don't want to crop too much or cut off the head. You just want a little bit of headroom and a natural-looking frame. Now, when we play it back, It looks like a slight camera punch-in. This makes the cut feel more intentional and keeps the video more interesting. This is similar to the previous step, but instead of adding a transition, we are changing the framing of the shot. What you want to do now is go through your edit and check if there are any places where a transition makes sense, or where a zoom in would work better. Don't overdo it. Just use it where it helps the video. And just like this, the transition and zoom in section is complete. Now let's add music to the video. Music can make your video feel more polished and engaging, but the volume needs to be controlled properly. If the music is too loud, it will distract from the voice. If it is too quiet, viewers may not notice it at all. To find music, go to the Audio tab. Filmora has different audio tracks you can use. You will also see AI audio options, like generate music or sound effects with AI. With the AI music feature, you can describe the type of music you want, or use AI to generate prompt words. You can select the genre, mood, and instrument. But some AI features may require credits, so for this tutorial, we are just going to use the music that Filmora already has. I will choose a music track called Hello World for this demo. To add it, I can drag it down into the timeline or click the plus button. Once it is added, you can see that the music may go beyond the end of the video. We don't want the music to continue after the video ends, so we need to trim it. One way to do this is to drag the end of the music track until it lines up with the end of the video. But sometimes, music tracks have a nice ending or fade-out section near the end of the song. If you want that ending to match the end of your video, you can trim the beginning of the music instead. Then slide the music track to the left until the ending lines up with your video ending. This is a smooth way to make the music feel more natural. The ending of the song finishes at the same time as your video, which makes the edit feel more complete. But now, we have another problem. The music starts at a random part of the song, and it may come in too suddenly. Let's play it back. Okay, a few things are wrong. The music is too loud, and it starts too abruptly. Let me fix this. I will click the music track and adjust the volume. You can use the audio line on the track, or you can use the settings on the right side. For background music, I usually want it much lower than the speaking audio. In the original notes, the music is around -20 to -30, and that is a good starting point. You should listen with headphones and adjust it based on your video. Now I will add a fade-in at the beginning of the music. Around 1 second is usually enough for a subtle fade. This means the music will slowly come in instead of starting suddenly. Let's play it back again. That sounds much better. The music is there, but it is not fighting with the voice. And just like this, the music section is complete. Now let's work on the main audio. Good audio is very important. Even if your video looks good, bad audio can make people stop watching. So we need to make sure the voice is clear and not too quiet or too loud. I will select the main footage. You can adjust the volume using the audio line on the clip, or you can use the volume settings on the right side. Since my main footage is not too loud, I will increase it a little bit. Then I will play it back and watch the audio meter. Ideally, you want the voice to stay in a safe range and not hit the red zone. If the audio is peaking too loud, it can sound distorted. If it is too low, viewers may struggle to hear it. So play it back and adjust until it sounds balanced. Another way to adjust audio is through the audio settings on the right side. You can change the volume, adjust the balance between left and right speakers, add fade-in or fade-out, and use other audio options. There are tools like pitch, audio ducking, equalizer, and denoise. Denoise can be very helpful if your recording has background noise, wind, or loud ambience. For example, if you recorded outside or in a noisy room, denoise can help clean up the sound. But be careful not to overdo it because too much noise reduction can make the voice sound unnatural. If you want to adjust multiple audio clips at the same time, you can select one clip, hold Shift, and select the other clips. Then you can adjust the volume settings together. This saves time if all your talking clips need the same volume adjustment. A few moments later, the audio is now sounding better. Make sure to play it back and listen carefully. If the music is too loud, lower it. If the voice is too quiet, raise it. If the audio hits the red zone, lower it. This part may take some time, but it is worth it because clean audio makes the final video feel much more professional. And just like this, the audio section is complete. Now let's adjust the colors of the video. Color correction helps your footage look better by adjusting brightness, contrast, temperature, saturation, and other settings. To do this, select the first clip on the timeline. Then go to the settings panel on the right side and click the Color tab. Inside the color section, you will see different options. Filmora has presets that you can apply quickly. Some presets can create a TV effect, a stylized look, or other color styles. If a preset fits your video, you can use it. But for this tutorial, I want to adjust the colors manually so I have more control. I will scroll down and start with the basic controls. First, there is temperature. If your video looks too warm or yellow, you can make it cooler. If it looks too blue, you can make it warmer. For this shot, I will make it a little bit cooler. Then we have tint. Be careful with tint because it can easily make the colors look strange. For now, I will keep it at 0. Next, there is vibrance and saturation. These control the strength of the colors. I will leave them as they are for now because I don't want the colors to look too strong. Then we have the light section. This includes exposure, brightness, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. If your shot is too dark, you can increase the exposure or brightness. But be careful because you don't want to create bright spots that look blown out. If your image looks a little flat, you can increase the contrast. For this clip, I will add a little contrast because it looks slightly washed out. There is also vignette, but I don't usually use it too much because it can look a little old school if it is too strong. You can still try it if it fits your video, but don't overdo it. There are also more advanced color tools like HSL, curves, and color wheels. HSL lets you adjust specific colors in your footage, like yellow, green, blue, and other colors. Curves and color wheels are powerful tools, but they can also be hard if you are new. They are great for more detailed color correction, but if you push them too far, your video can look unnatural. So for beginners, I recommend starting with the basic color settings first. Once I am happy with the color correction, I can save it as a custom preset. I will click Save as Custom and name it Michael. Then I will click OK. Now this color style is saved. If I want to apply the same color correction to other similar clips, I can right-click the clip, go to Effect and Filter, then choose Copy. After that, I can select the other clips, right-click, go back to Effect and Filter, and paste the effects. Now the other clips have the same color correction. By the way, I forgot to mention that you can also preview the before and after of your color grade. Select the clip with the color correction, go to the Color tab, and click the Comparison View icon. You can also switch the view using the arrow. You may see options like side-by-side view, split view left and right, or split view top and bottom. This is great because it helps you see if your color correction actually improved the clip or if you pushed it too far. And just like this, the color correction section is complete. Now that the video is edited, the B-roll is added, the titles are in place, the transitions are working, the music is balanced, the audio sounds clear, and the colors look better. It is time to export the video. To export, go to the top right corner and click Export. This will open the export window. Here you can choose the name of your video. For this tutorial, I will call it My Project Tutorial. You can name it anything you want. Just make sure the name is clear so you can find it later. Next, choose where you want to save the file. I will save mine in a folder where I can easily find it. You can save it on your desktop, in a project folder, or anywhere that makes sense for you. For the preset, I will match it to the project settings because that works well for this video. For the format, you will see different options, but the most common choices are MP4 and MOV. I usually prefer MP4 because it works well for uploading to platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and other websites. For quality, you may see different options. Higher quality can take longer to export and may create a larger file, but it usually gives you a better-looking video. For this tutorial, I will choose higher quality because I want the final video to look as good as possible. The resolution is 1920 by 1080, which matches our project settings. The frame rate is 25 frames per second, which is also what we used earlier. Before exporting, you can also see the video duration and the estimated file size. Once everything looks good, click Export. Now, if you are using the free version of Filmora, you may see a message about a watermark. This means the exported video may have a Filmora watermark on it. If you don't want the watermark, you may need to choose one of the paid plans shown inside Filmora. You may see different plan options depending on what is available on your screen. The more advanced plan usually gives you access to more features, resources, and watermark removal. For this tutorial, I just want to show you the process, so once you understand the export settings, you can decide what works best for you. If you are only testing Filmora, the free version can help you learn. But if you want to upload clean videos without a watermark, then you may want to use a paid plan. A few moments later, once the video is exported, I recommend playing it back before uploading it anywhere. Watch the full video, or at least check the important parts. Make sure the video looks correct, the audio sounds good, the music is not too loud, the titles are readable, and there are no mistakes in the edit. If you find an error, go back into Filmora, fix the issue, and export again. I know this might seem boring, but this final check is important because it helps you avoid uploading a video with mistakes. Make sure to save your project as well, so you don't lose your progress. Once everything looks good, you can upload your finished video to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or wherever you want to post it. And just like this, the full Wondershare Filmora 15 editing tutorial is complete. We created a new project, checked the interface, imported media, edited the main footage, added B-roll, added titles, used transitions, added music, adjusted the audio, corrected the colors, and exported the final video. I know this might seem confusing at the start, but once you try it, you'll understand. Filmora 15 is beginner-friendly, and the more you use it, the faster you will get. If you want a detailed guide, watch this video again and follow the steps slowly while editing your own project. That's it for this video. I hope this tutorial helped you understand how to use Wondershare Filmora 15. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.